All right, 10:11 right now. Welcome on back in. So Cincinnati's city charter turns 100 years old this year. How about that? So to celebrate the document's momentous anniversary, the Charter Committee of Greater Cincinnati is going to be hosting monthly events through the end of 2024. So Doc Christensen is the project director and is here to tell us more about really this charter and everything. First of all, let's just kind of let's start, I should say, just from the beginning, like we were just talking about during the commercial break, a bit of the history here.
Well, prior to 1920, for about 30 years, there was the bossism system. Everybody's heard of Boss Cox.
Yeah.
And it was totally corrupt. And we're trying to refresh people's memory about what that was. We were known as the worst managed city in the country.
Amazing.
And then the charter movement began with Murray Seasongood and a few others. And they brought in the professional city manager and the 9-member council. It had been 32. And people used to have to get the boss's permission or their ward chair's permission to run for council. But the other things that were brought in were mandatory contracts for business contracts with the city.
Yeah.
And the civil service system, so that the nepotism and bribery to get a job was, put back in the
right.
And by 1933, we were known as the best managed city in the country.
Isn't that I just find any part of the history here that we have right here, and that we're lucky enough to be able to live in this city with such a rich history. So I think it's fascinating when you even just begin to scratch the surface of how we got here, because it was a long road, to be able to kind of go from being so mismanaged to then seeing success, less than two decades later after that.
Right.
Yeah, and tell me then, you were giving me this sheet here that has the program schedule. Tell folks at home about what you guys are doing throughout the end of this year.
Well, they can go to chartercommittee.org.
Okay.
And it's all there. And then there's now some history cartoons, some 1920s cartoons when they were voting. One of the interesting programs is not until October. They're all interesting.
Yeah.
But one of the ones I'm fascinated with is when Roxanne Pauls is going to be talking about the role that women played. Sure. And Women's City Club and the League of Women Voters are credited with getting this charter passed. At the time, it got 69% of the vote, wow, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But that was only the second election that women could vote. And these women in the League and the Women's City Club went door to door to thousands of doors to get women to register and vote for the charter, and it passed by 2/3 majority.
I want, again, punch at home, but for people who are listening right now, watching, where can they go for more information on this?
They can go to CincinnatiCharter.com.
Okay.
Sorry, Charter Cincinnati.
CharterCincinnati.com. It's okay, it's a Monday. CharterCincinnati.com, that'll then kind of list all the events and everything taking place throughout the duration of the year.
Yes, and the next event is tomorrow night.
Awesome.
With David Mann, who's had a long history, 26-year history on the city council.
Yep.
And he was a congressman and done a lot of other good things.
Absolutely.
And he'll be speaking at the Walnut Hills Library at 7 o'clock tomorrow.
Perfect. Dot, thank you so much. We appreciate you for taking the time to come out here. You're like a treasure trove of history. I could talk to you all day. All right, it is 10:14. We're back with more of The Extra right after this.